Hey everyone, this is Shreyas and welcome back to another video. First of all, apologies in advance if the audio isn't great because things have moved around in my studio and that's why there is reverb. I'm working on getting it fixed, but thanks for putting up with it. So the next thing is that I have finally got myself the Moto G52. Now this is a device that I was really excited for. First of all, I have not done any budget phone reviews in my channel till now and I'm going to transfer all my data, accounts, everything over here. Now I'm sure you're tired of watching at the box, but if you are interested in the full review of it, definitely subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Also, I just had a thought. I have this Pixel 6 Pro, which obviously is running Google's version of Android 12. The Motorola software, which is my UX, is not that far away from it. It has some sprinkles of here and there of something that Motorola wants to add in their UI, but not very different from stock Android. So would you like a comparison between what Pixels offer versus what Motorola phones offer? Let me know in the comments down below. So without any further delay, let's really get into the unboxing very quickly. So this is Shreyas and let's check that out. Alright, so this is the retail box of the Moto G52. You can see it's sealed over here. I have got it in the charcoal grey variant because I did not really get the white one in stock by the time I ordered. So let's quickly just get through the seal. So let's just... Alright. Cool. So the box is done. Right. Alright, so we have the phone first. Does it come out like this? Okay, yeah. So the phone is already in the case that is provided in the box. Let me just keep this aside for now. So we have some safety information. This is a quick start guide, I'm believing, and get a SIM ejector tool. Then below we have one compartment. We have a USB-A to C cable and a very nice compact 33 watt charger, but this is very compact and light as well, and it's a good thing that you get the charger in the box. Alright, so here's the phone. Let me just remove this and I will quickly remove this kind of peel, which is not exactly a screen protector. Alright, so here's the phone. Actually looks really nice, although it is a complete plastic construction including the frame. There is no metal that I can see or feel because there are no antenna lines on the frame. The frame is glossy and you can see over here it has a physical fingerprint reader over here. There is a volume up and down button which seems very high. Okay, so one more thing about the SIM slot. Let's just quickly open it. This is the SIM slot. So this is a hybrid SIM slot. You get access for either dual SIM or one SIM and one micro SD card. So you have a choice over there. Unfortunately, it's not a triple slot. And another thing to note is that if you see very carefully, there is a rubber gasket over here. This phone does come with IP52 water resistance. It's not the highest grade of water resistance, but it's something, and that being included in budget phones is, I would call it a win. And apart from that, probably these are some microphones and speakers on the top of the phone, and on the lower part of the phone we can see USB-C speaker and a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is awesome. So I have oily fingers. I can see some fingerprints, but it's not like horrible like I would expect on glossy plastic. It is there. It is slightly satin like finish. It's not exactly like glossy plastic. I can see a certain pattern with a shimmer over here. So it looks kind of nice. It does not feel cheap at all. It is really well built for a plastic phone in my opinion. And here's a closer look at the camera array. You can see it's a triple camera setup over here. Now definitely I'll click a lot of pictures and put it in my full review. So if you want to know about my full review, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Cool, now that's done. Let me just turn it on real quick. So this is running close to stock Android, which with a bit of features and apps from Motorola. It's called My UX, if I'm correct. What is the terminology? So that's the highlight of this phone, apart from the fact that Motorola has finally given things like Okay, greeted by hello Moto. Cool. So I will be putting in my SIM later, and I will be using this as my primary phone. So over here you can see in the setup process there are a few things. It is asking for usage statistics, device support, customizations, no thanks, automatically download and install security updates. Now this you could keep on or not on, I feel. I will keep it on and move on. Okay, so here is the copying part, and I will actually transfer my main phone into this. So that's why I got the 128 plus 6GB variant, because to my primary phone, the Pixel 6 Pro is what I'm gonna transfer over here and use it as my primary phone. Alright, so now I can choose everything that I want to copy to this particular new phone. So I will keep photos and videos out. Cool. So if I copy almost everything apart from app data, it will take around 27 gigs extra. So I will turn on copying. So everything is being copied in the background. Now I can set up my fingerprint over here. So this is the first time I'm using a capacitive fingerprint sensor at the side of the phone. I've never used one personally before. Okay, so this part of the setup process I want to focus on. Now, unfortunately, Motorola also has gone a route which a lot of budget phones have been taken for years. Now, obviously, these are Google preloaded apps which you usually get on any phone. But from Motorola, you can see over here Daily Hunt and Josh. This is technically bloatware and I do not appreciate it. But unfortunately, probably to compete in this segment, Motorola has to take such steps. Now, considering that this is a phone around 15 to 16,000, I think it's okay, and it's just 2 apps. But still, that is something that I do not expect from Motorola. But if it is absolutely necessary to bring the phone price down to this extent, you might be okay with it. So definitely let me know about your thoughts in the comments down below. That will be really helpful, and let me know about it. Let the copying continue. Everything else is kind of set up, and I will get back to the video and tell you about my first impressions with this particular phone. Alright, so you saw the unboxing and setup process. Now I have been using the phone for almost 2 to 3 hours at this point. Now you did see the setup process had a couple of apps that could have been installed if you weren't very careful. So it's technically bloatware, so that's something you should be mindful of, and definitely share this video with people who are buying this phone so that they're aware of it, so that they can do it off in one go and not do it after they have set up this phone. But about this topic and the software experience, I will definitely cover more in detail in my full review. Also, I asked over on Twitter about the questions people might be having, but most of the questions that people have asked me are about things that I will definitely need time to understand and will be covering it in my full review. So definitely stay subscribed and turn on notifications for that. But apart from that, my first impressions is going to be primarily about the hardware. This is a fully plastic phone, which actually makes it really light. It's not very compact. So for example, this is the size comparison with my Pixel 6 Pro. It is definitely smaller, but it has a flat screen, and overall I actually don't mind the form factor. It's very easy to hold, and the back finish of this phone is really nice. Actually, it does not feel like plastic as much because there is kind of a satin finish on it, but it does catch a bit of fingerprints. Now it's not a smudgy mess like most glossy plastics. It is better, but definitely not fingerprint resistant to a large extent. The next thing I like is the display. Obviously it is a budget phone, so it has limitations in terms of brightness, but it has a 90Hz panel and it is really smooth. But I'll definitely cover in detail in my full review how it is panning out to be, and if the Snapdragon 695 inside of this is enough for it or not. But the display is really nice, and the other thing which is nice is the chin over here and the overall screen to body ratio. It looks really nice and premium, and if you told me that this costed somewhere around 20 to 25,000 also, I would actually agree with it, barring the fact that it does not have a metal frame or a glass back. Few highlights I would definitely like to cover. First of all, this is one of the few phones which comes with NFC. So that's why I am again agreeing to change it as my primary device, because I can still use tap to pay, and that is something I definitely need in a phone. A lot of phones do skip over the NFC chip in this particular price range. So that's something you can be mindful of. And if you need NFC, this is a phone you can think of. The other part is, obviously I'm not used to the headphone jack because I've been using flagship phones to for a long time, but you do get a charger in the box, which is the good news. But one thing that people might be arguing about it, if you're looking for this phone in the long term, is about 5G. Now 5G is not enabled or present in this phone in any way. It is a strictly 4G phone, but I think that is a good move by Motorola, because again, they're trying to be competitive. The quality of phones in the same price bracket has gone down, with features getting cut just because 5G is being pushed now. Now the things that I do wish it had was kind of a glass back, because last year Redmi Note 10 series came in with a bang and had almost everything you would want in a smartphone. In this particular price range. The other things that I will be definitely testing out is the camera and how it pans out in different conditions. Again, I will be covering these in detail in my full review. Other thing is the speaker is actually really good. I did not expect it. The balance is obviously a bit off. It's almost like 60-40% split between the bottom firing speaker and the top firing speaker. Now, one thing new to me personally is a side mounted capacitive fingerprint reader. Now I'm not used to it, so I have to get used to it. It's kind of a hit or miss for me because I'm not used to it personally, but definitely I think I can get used to it one day. Another thing to note, which I mentioned during the unboxing, is that the volume buttons are placed kind of very weirdly high. So it's a bit tough to reach that out, and given that this phone is not really small, that's something you should definitely keep in mind. Even though I have pretty big hands overall, you have to do some adjustments to your hand to reach to the volume buttons on this particular phone. So overall, I'm actually really excited to try this phone out and give you a detailed review of it. Again, let me know in the comments down below if you want a comparison between the software on this and Pixel phones, because I have the Pixel 4a still. Obviously, if you have any particular questions which you want me to cover in the full review of this particular phone, comment down below. So thank you for watching. I hope you like this particular video, and I'll catch you in the next one.